Triple H addresses the Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens incident, plus the backstage reaction to Drew McIntyre and CM Punk's Hell in a Cell match has been revealed, and WWE re-signs a WCW legend. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling News right now. Bad Blood was pretty bloody good.
Oh my, I don't know why you would put the Hell in a Cell match on first and expect the rest of the card to live up to that. That was a bit strange. Maybe the Dwayne Johnson coming back and politicking CM Punk. Maybe that had something to do with it, Tom. But it was the Hell in a Cell match. Ooh, yeah.
It was so good. A great show and a great time had by all. Except Cody Rhodes, who, bless him, apparently, as we saw on video, got beaten up by Kevin Owens quite magnificently after the show went off the air.
Yeah, so Kevin and Cody are having a little argument outside of Cody's tour bus, sponsored by vodka. Ooh,
Wheatley!
Vodka. And then Kevin Owens whistle-wazzles him. And the most surprising thing to me about all this, Tom, is the fact that Kevin Owens got in a proper super-duper car, a supercar, and whizzed away.
He didn't stay on the bus.
Famously frugal man, Kevin Owens has got a supercar. Anyway, Triple H has been speaking about, hasn't he?
He has indeed, as the turn took place in front of the Wheatley Turn on Your Friends Neatly bus. Triple H addressed the post-show attack, tweeting, "We are aware of the incident outside of the arena last night between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. The matter will be dealt with internally." I really like the way they did this, because a few people have gone, well, this is a big heel turn for Kevin Owens. Why do it like away from the center of the ring in front of a live crowd? But it's something different, and I like them trying new things. And I thought that worked.
Yeah, I think it worked as well. It's been a long time coming. I remember when the 24/7 title was around, we were like, whoa, the scope for this is unbelievable, the potential. Everyone's got a camera phone these days. You can film things happening in shops that don't necessarily have to be shown on TV, but they're going to go viral on social media. This is what they've done here. Made it feel a bit more real.
Yeah.
But I like how outside the box it is, yeah.
It is good. So I presume we'll find out more on SmackDown on Friday, what this means for Kevin Owens, for Cody Rhodes, and possibly for WrestleMania.
I would love it if Kevin Owens turned up and just went, Cody, how are you doing? It didn't happen on the show, therefore it's not canon.
That'd be brilliant.
What? You must be mistaken. That wasn't me. I'm WWE superstar Kevin Owens. That was Kevin Steen in that car park.
Like the episode of Seinfeld where your man turns up for work after you've been sacked. Just that, exactly that, please. Of course, the Hell in a Cell match is what we talked about at the start of the video. Drew and Punk truly went to hell. Crimson masks worn all over the place. PW Insider says the feeling backstage was they brought back the sense of danger and ferociousness the steel cage matches and later the cell bouts used to carry.
Well, that used to be the stipulation. That was like the end game for any feud, wasn't it? When you got the Hell in a Cell back in the day, 20 years ago when we were whippersnappers, Tom. That was like the worst stipulation you could have in wrestling outside of Ken Shamrock's fight pit.
That was it. And then it just became just like a part of the wrestling calendar. And I never vibed with it.
It always should have been a feud ends with a Hell in a Cell, not a Hell in a Cell dictates the feud.
Yes.
Yeah.
It should be a match that needs to take place in a cell, not a cell that needs a match.
Yeah.
CM Punk said something like that.
Yeah.
PW Insider have also offered an update on Drew and Punk's health post-match.
Yeah, they say, for those who have asked about CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, we can confirm they are very banged up, as you would imagine. Drew McIntyre received a legitimate 16 staples. I've got no idea if we can show the picture there, because it looked like something off of Alien, so it did, Tom. A horrible gash.
A little less 16 staples, more a horrible gash.
Yeah, he got that from the steel toolbox shot, which is easy for me to say this Monday morning. There were other talents marvelling at him for powering through after that in the match. There was no word yet he suffered a concussion, but all reports we have heard is that he was coherent and aware of the match backstage. We've asked if Drew McIntyre was injured in the gnarly stair spot, but all signs this afternoon are somehow he escaped injury there, which I don't understand how. If you haven't seen it, he's going for the Claymore on CM Punk. He runs across the ring, Punk ducks out the way, then they've got the lower half of the upper half of the steel stairs in the ring, and Drew's lower back just lands on that ridge.
He basically becomes like an S shape from Tetris, and how he wasn't cream crackered by it.
Yeah, I've got no
idea. That toolbox shot, that started a bit of discourse online as well, in the sense that when those sort of things happen in AEW, there's
the right back
far more.
Hurt me hand.
You're right there.
Just punched this bar.
People online saying that when things like that happen in AEW, there's a lot of hoo-ha and anger online about the fact that, unprotected shot to the head, this is bad. But yet WWE do it, and there was less of the discussion about it. I still think that unprotected shots to the head, whatever, are still awful.
Yeah.
I can't speak to how well protected that was in the same way I can't speak to how well protected the chair shot on Jack Perry was that time. But I still think, unprotected shots to the head are pretty awful, and Drew looked pretty awful about it afterwards. What with 16 stitches needed in his flipping head.
What I would say, though, for this one, you could see why because it was an accident, obviously, but the accident happened. You could see how it happened because the way Punk did it over the top of his head, you've got no real control there. So that then leads to the question: should they have done it in a different way? Why have a Punk do it like that when he could do it more controlled going forwards the way?
It was a challenge. Now, Punk collapsing in the aisle on the way and getting gas and air now was not a sign of any injury or any distress. It was just him doing an amazing job of selling. That's according to Mike Johnson, a PW insider.
I thought that was him having a little go at the fans who go like, he's over the hill, he can't do it anymore. So he's out there on the aisle going like, I need air. I can't believe it.
Do you reckon it was like a little...
Just have a little joke, I can still do it, but I'll give you this little bit to tickle your taint, so to speak.
Well, really, really solid match. The WTF moments from that match and all the other matches are available on our YouTube channel right now.
Yes,
it is. Gentlemen, you can watch them right now. The Terror Twins going their separate ways after Bad Blood.
What?
I know, mate.
Mother's on the mark, no.
Good morning, Mother.
Up the mother.
In the post-Bad Blood press conference, Damien Priest talked about forming another faction with Rhea Ripley, and the answer was far sadder than we could have ever hoped.
Yeah, he says the idea of the Judgment Day was to grab some talent who were capable of being main eventers and capable of being the person on the billboards and whatnot, but for whatever reason, we weren't there. We got together to push each other, and Rhea and I achieved that. While it was fun as far as doing it with your friends and whatnot, at the same time, there is something to, all right, now I'm here, now let's see what I can do on my own. I love Rhea. Do you love Rhea?
I love Rhea.
Damien Priest loves Rhea as well. I've lost my trail of thought there. That's my best friend in the world. But obviously, she's in the women's division. I'm in the men's division. Although we're friends, we have to follow our own path.
Yeah, very much clear, very much indicating that Rhea Ripley and Damien Priest aren't going to do the Terror Twin shtick on telly anymore, and they're both going to have their own storylines and stuff.
They'll still be like, I see you there, sir.
See you there, sir.
Remember the good old days. But it is interesting, where does Rhea Ripley go from here? Was that the feud ended with Liv Morgan? Does she now just go off into a feud with Raquel Rodriguez? What are you saying, Tom? You booked the wrestling show.
Well, I think you kind of have her spin off and do stuff with Raquel Rodriguez. So then I think now Rhea has to get through Raquel to get to Dom, to get to Liv, to get the belt back. I think you continue to tell that story. For Damien Priest, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I guess whatever he does next, I'm sure he'll be fine.
He'll be fine. He's good at the wrestling,
He is very good at the wrestling, as is Gunter, who, despite the fact he didn't have a world title match, did show up at Bad Blood when they presented the Crown Jewel Championship.
The Vajazzle Championship.
The Vajazzle Championship.
It's an ugly title belt. Let's get it out there. And it's also the Champion of Champions Championship from SmackDown vs. Raw 2010.
Is it?
Basically, because it's the World Heavyweight Champion versus the WWE Champion, just contesting for a title. That's what that was back in the day, wasn't it?
And here's the thing: I'll only say this on the Vajazzle belt. So the World Champ and the WWE Champ are going to fight for it, and then whoever wins that match wins that belt. But then what if, say, Cody wins that match, but then Cody loses to The Rock at WrestleMania 41, for argument's sake? Does The Rock get that belt as well?
No, Tom. This is a yearly occurrence, only a crown jewel.
Right, so they hold up the belt at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, and then they never speak of it again.
I reckon we'll see it at Crown Jewel, and we'll see it on the Raw or SmackDown, whoever wins after Crown Jewel, and then we'll never see it until the SmackDown or Raw before the next Crown Jewel.
So they're booking the title belt like Mansoor?
Basically.
Right, with you. But in amongst all of this, we had Gunter and Goldberg having a showdown.
This is weird, the timing of it. Because as we all know, they're going for a Goldberg and Gunter match, I think.
Oh, yes.
And that could only take place in one area of the world.
That's right. Bristol Temple Meads.
Or Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where Crown Jewel is.
Oh, or Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
So they've got the champion of the championship match. Gunter, can he do double duty on one night? Or is he going to lose to Sammy tonight? And Sammy goes on to Crown Jewel to fight for the Vajazzle.
Oh, no, they'll do Gunter and Cody. I mean, they could do Goldberg at Survivor Series.
Oh, I guess he's got the history there.
Do you know what?
But that means Gunter's world title defense is one of the tent pole events of the year is going to be Goldberg.
Yeah.
This is the Triple H era. I thought these days were gone.
I mean, it certainly is the Triple H era. And Triple H himself spoke at the press conference addressing what we have been fantasy booking here, the possible in-ring return of Goldberg. And what did he say?
Atlanta loves Bill Goldberg, says Triple H, and that's why he was here tonight. He was with his wife and son. Always going to get a huge reaction here enjoying the show. You know, things get said. I can tell you when Bill came back, he was not too happy with Gunter, and we'll see.
The further you go, time catches up with all of us, and so the further you get, those talks get further and further away from reality. But I don't know. I saw Bill earlier in the day, and it was great. I saw Bill later in the day, and there was a different look on his face with a spark in his eye. So I would never say never.
It's happening.
Oh yeah, we've done it back to back, but it's definitely happening. So it's definitely going to be that, and I think I reckon Survivor Series Gunter Goldberg.
I love Gunter's role in it though. Bringing up Bill Goldberg as his favourite wrestler just to piss off Bret Hart. Then he sees Bill Goldberg and goes, "Oh, you're not that good, really. I've got a spare 3 minutes where I can wrestle you. You one-trick pony."
I like the 3-minute line. I thought was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that immensely. So we'll look forward to that one. But he was not the WCW legend that re-signed with WWE over Bad Blood weekend. That went to Mr. Self High Five himself.
A diamond upside down is a P word.
It is.
A vajazzle.
Bang, etc. What did Diamond Dallas Page say about his lovely weekend at Bad Blood?
I personally had one of my favourite times at a #WWE event, knowing my Hall of Fame career was made in WCW. Regardless of how many close friends I had there at the WWE, I never felt totally welcomed.
Sad, isn't it? But then he went on to say that at this particular weekend, he felt the most welcome he's ever felt. And then he went home and signed a WWE Legends contract.
Well, he was in the party room, Tom, with Naomi and Jade and Bianca, and Jey Uso was also there, yeeting the drinks all over himself.
You only get in that room with a Legends deal, at least. So in he goes to that. So congratulations to DDP. Whether or not we'll see DDP on telly, I don't know. Will we see his likeness? Absolutely, because that's the whole thing about a WWE Legends deal, is it gives WWE carte blanche to use your face, your visage, your character and such in games, action figures, collectibles, merch, that sort of thing.
Ready to Rumble 2.
Ready to Rumble 2.
It's
Electric
time.
Boogaloo.
I spoke about this with DDP himself on that Straight to Hell I did a couple of years ago now, and it still hasn't happened. I'm still waiting, Diamond.
Oh, Paige.
Cast me as Gordy too. I'll be a policeman for you, baby.
Book him in, coach. He's ready to play. Honestly, get him on there. You can watch Diamond Dallas Page on Straight to Hell on the YouTube channel right now. It's a lovely time with Ross and DDP. And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.